Good morning, everybody. This is the Wimbledon Spiritualist Church live streaming service. This morning's medium will be Leslie Knight and Ivan Lee, and we will open with a quick prayer. Then I'll hand over to Jackie for the healing moment. Great architect of the universe, unseen but ever present in the manifestation upon this earth, we ask you to bless this service and all of us around the world that are watching this service. May the light and countenance of thy being and thy heavenly angels be with us now and forevermore during this service. And we ask you to unite us in one common bond of love. So mote it be. Amen. Jackie.
Okay, now I want us all to relax for the healing moments so that we can actually have some self-healing. But also remember that we are in need of healing of mind, body and spirit, and especially, with our mental health, because we are all beginning to go a little bit stir crazy and we're all a little bit frightened, whether people say they are or they're not. The anxiety is there. The body is aware of that anxiety, and we need to be able to slow the body and to be back in harmony with Mother Earth. Mother Earth herself is taking a bit of a pause at this moment, as the world is taking a little bit of a pause, and we need to take a deep breath as Mother Earth is taking a deep breath, one without pollution and noise, able to hear outside in our gardens and just out in the street the beautiful peace and quiet and the bird song. It's time to be able to look at the daisies that are out in the grass. We need to think of keeping our mental well-being as good as it can be, and we need to be able to interact with our friends, our family, those that we know that are by ourselves. So pick up your address books, speak to people you haven't spoke to in ages, just give them a ring and see how they are, because if we can all just keep that contact with individuals on the phone, then that may be the only person they speak to in the whole of that day, or even the whole of that week. So think of those that you know that are in most need. And then also think how lucky we are to be in a society where we're protected. Most of us will have roofs over our head, have shelter that is not cold, that is warm, and know that we can just turn on a tap or we can turn on the heat and know that we've got people still looking after us. The medical profession, and they're also losing individuals from their own medical profession, but people are still volunteering. They're still going on the front line, and we know that we're not yet at the cusp where we will start to see numbers reduce. So we know that the hard work is still there in front of us. So think of the nurses, the doctors, the porters, the carers, the receptionists. Think of all those in care homes. I've heard recently of carers that are now living in the care home so they can protect their patients and look after all of the individual needs of that care home without bringing in any of the silent and unseen virus, which is killing too many of our elderly population, and now just going through numbers of from young to old. So think of those individuals. Think also of our fire service, our ambulance crew, the people that are still emptying our rubbish, that are keeping our streets safe, our police that are having to go out to remind people of not being as stupid as trying to have parties in the park. Because it's only if we all work together with this that we will see this through, and we will look back and know that by staying in, keeping ourselves safe, but keeping others safe, that it's the only way of stopping this pandemic. But think of those other individuals that we don't know about, the civil servants, the people in the pensions department, and those that are giving out benefits, that are working round the clock to make sure that individuals have money, have support. They are working longer hours than they've ever worked. Think of our supermarkets, not only the people that are working in the supermarkets, the people at the cash till, but the people, you know, that are looking after and cleaning the trolleys, and the delivery guys that are making sure that there's food in those supermarkets. So think, when we have our healing moment, think of all those individuals that are well at this moment. Think of all those that are sick in beds. Think of all of those that, no matter how much we send a prayer, that their physical life may be coming to an ebb, and that they will be passing to the spirit world because the virus has a hold on them. And we ask that in God's plan, we know that there are care teams in the spirit world waiting to accept these individuals, waiting to take them in their arms and to comfort them, and to also put a blanket of comfort around all the families that are losing their family members and close friends at this moment, because there are so many individuals that are being affected from the immediate family of losing someone, to just knowing that they were your friends, your neighbours, and think about all those service industries, to think of the animal kingdom, and to think of Mother Nature. And if we just have a few moments where we can think of those individuals in our own heart and our own healing books, and our church healing books are in closed churches at this moment. We ask our healing angels to help us be resolute in what we have to do to keep going, and to help others in keeping going, and to keep our mental well-being, and to send a blanket of love all around the world. And we thank the healing angels because we know that you are doing your best to help all those in need at this time. Amen. Now I'm going to hand over to Les, who will be demonstrating her gift of mediumship. So if you please send your love to Les in this wonderful experiment that we have here this morning. And it's wonderful, Les, that you're joining us at this time. So handing over to you for this part of the service.
Thank you, Jackie. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Obviously, this is a big first for me. Not done this before. Well, I did the meditation, but I've not done mediumship online. So we'll see what happens, because I normally see where I want to go, and obviously I can't see any of you. At the moment, I can see Ivan and I can see Jackie. Yep. Okay, well, I'm not getting any, it's all right. Okay. Okay, we're going to say a few hellos and not many, because apparently there are a lot of people watching. I'm just waiting for the comments to come up on screen for me. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a lot of us watching. Just bear with us for a moment. No, I don't see anybody. Hello, Susan. Hello, Tracy. Petra. Elizabeth. Linda. Shirley. Oh, yes, Shirley Clark. All right, Shell. Amanda Bradshaw. Hi, Elizabeth. Anne-Marie. Hi Dawn and hi Phil. There's just a few people that I've been told are watching. So good morning to you all. I do work with my eyes shut sometimes, so don't think I've nodded off. I'm just linking in. As soon as I woke up this morning, and I don't know whether George is with us, but I've got to give this message because otherwise I know his wife and his son won't go away, because they've been pestering me ever since I woke up this morning. And I wasn't sure, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not ready, because normally I link in before I start to work, and I thought, well, I'm not ready to go yet. But they were there, and I said, I've forgotten what Phil's son's name was, and I said to him, can you tell me your name? If you're really there, you tell me your name. And he did, and he said, it's me, Phil. So I hope that's the right name. Okay, George, if you're not there, then hopefully maybe Phil or Shirley or somebody can write the message down and pass it on to you later. I do know
Shirley Monaco.
it's Shirley Monaco.
Or Phil Shaw.
Okay, Phil, I know you're there. Maybe you could write this down for George if he's not about. I do know both their energies because they've spoken to me before. When we're doing a service like this, it's quite awkward for us as mediums because we do know people in our congregation, but obviously we can't control who comes through and speaks to us. So please don't think that we're only going to give messages to people we know. It's whoever comes forward, then we will pass the message on. Okay? Right. It's unusual for them both to come together. Normally they come separately when they come, but they're both coming together this morning. And they're talking, your wife's talking about daffodils. So I don't know whether they were very important to her, George, but I feel as though there's daffodils around where you live. Now, I know you live in a mobile home, but I do feel there's daffodils around where you live, and these are important. Your son is also talking about when you used to tinker and do things together and make things together, how we used to enjoy that. And you miss that sort of thing. They're very glad that you're staying indoors and you're doing as you're told, because your wife's saying that she's not ready for you to come over yet. It's not your time. You've got too much to do where you are. And basically, they both just want to send their love. They just both want to send their love to you, and you know they're looking over you anyway. I know there's not a lot of evidence there, but I think they just both wanted to come forward and say good morning. So I'm going to leave that with you, George, or with Phil to pass it on when he can, if that's okay. Thank you. Right, I'm sorry, Jack, but I've got to bring Dad in quick because he also was here with me this morning. He's laughing because he's talking about the football. So I don't know whether, I'm not watching the news because I don't really want to watch it very much at the moment. But he's actually saying he can actually go to the football matches now.
When they're on again. Yeah.
Exactly. Where it's not on the TV, he can actually go to the football matches. He's laughing because Mum's there as well, and she's saying, yes, it's nice to get rid of him for a little while. Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, so I think they quite enjoy. They love being together, but they're enjoying that break as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's toasting you both with a glass of real beer, and he's saying it's warm. So I don't know if that's significant.
It is.
He's saying the beer is warm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's also saying to you, don't worry about Rachel, it's going to be okay. And that's a private message that you'll understand, all right?
I do.
And he's also laughing, Jackie, and saying, well, you've got no choice but to stay in now and behave yourself.
Yeah.
It's one-way spirit shown of slowing you down, and you've got no choice.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to leave his love with you, all right?
Thank you, Les.
Because I can see loads of them queuing up there, but it's quite difficult not getting feedback from people.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Yeah. Okay. Let's see where we're going. Right, I have a tall man coming through. I would say he's over 6 foot. Very slim, very smart, quite stern. I've been given the name Brian. I don't know if that's his name or he's connected to somebody called Brian, or Brian would be significant. Would anybody understand this? If you can say yes, then Richard can comment on the yes or no, and then Richard can pass it on to me, because I actually can't see the comments myself. Okay. He's talking about East Sussex. So I don't know whether he would have lived in East Sussex. I do feel he would have been a military man. He's very upright. He's got dark hair. Very slim. He would have also had problems with his feet. Now, I don't think he's showing me himself as he was when he passed. Okay, lovely. Okay, Pat, let's see if we're working with you. He's talking about tummy conditions. Would you understand tummy conditions, Pat, either with him or with yourself? Okay. I do feel this man would have had reflux problems or problems with acid. Does that make sense to either of you? Okay. Oh dear. They can all understand the reflex, can they? Okay, great. And the East Sussex condition, East Sussex area, you can all understand East Sussex. And who is that? Sorry, Anthony. Okay. Okay. I know work is everybody's work situation is awkward at the moment, but I feel there's been a situation at work. Would you understand that, Anthony, that's been troubling you? Things have been a bit up in the air at work. Okay. Your dad is in spirit, or is Daddy on earth, Anthony? I know you can understand this man. That's all I'm trying to. I don't want to. Okay, fine. Okay, he's talking about his hands. So I feel there would have been a problem with this man's hands as well. I don't know whether he'd have had arthritis or he'd have had trouble gripping when he was here. Great, okay. He's saying to me that you're missing going out in the sun. And I know we all are. But I think for you this is very important. And I do feel that walking by the sea is very important. Because he's showing me a beach with the sea. And the sea coming in as though that's very relaxing. So water is important. Brilliant, okay. Well, not brilliant, but you understand. Yeah. Okay. You're finding this very hard at the moment, Anthony. He's telling me you're finding things very difficult at the moment with being shut in, as a lot of us are. He's telling you to keep your pecker up. I don't know whether that's something he would have said when he was here, but he's saying keep your pecker up, keep strong. This will come to an end. He's also saying to you about reading. Now, I don't know whether you enjoy reading, whether you read a lot, but he's saying books are important at this time, and it's important for you to do reading at this moment. And I feel he's talking about spiritual books and learning. Okay, you understand that, great. Right, I'm going to leave him, his love with you, Anthony, and I'm going to move on and see if I can make another connection. Thank you for replying, and God bless. Wonderful. He loves the sea, great. I forget that you can't hear what I'm being told, so it probably sounds a bit weird from where you are watching me. Okay, let's see where we're going. Hi, Alwyn. Hi, Carol. Hi, Anna, and hi, Jim.
They all sound like from Wimbledon.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm glad you're all with us. It's lovely that we can stay together and we can keep this going. Now, I'm just going to see if I can get another link. Okay, I've got a smaller lady coming through now, quite elderly. And she's very wobbly on her legs. She's walking with a stick. Quite slender legs. I'm being told the name Miriam. Now, I'm not very good when I get names. I don't know whether this connects with her, but I'm just giving out the name Miriam because she's saying the name Miriam. This lady wants to connect to her daughter. Her daughter is in the congregation today. Let's see if we can get some more evidence. She's telling me you would have done her hair. When she was here on earth, you would have done her hair. Her hair was very important to her when she was here. And even when she got ill, she would have still liked to have her hair done properly. And I feel there would have been... Lulu, you understand this? Okay. Lovely to speak to you. She's talking about it. There was a situation, and I don't know whether it was you or somebody else, or whether it was Mum, when she was in her coffin, would have done something to her hair because her hair didn't look right, and her hair would have been changed when she was in her coffin. Would you understand that? I know when I went to see my mum, she didn't look right, and the lady said to me, put her glasses on, and then it looked like my mum again. And I felt with this lady, she didn't look as she looked on earth when she was in her coffin, and somebody would have changed her hair. Does that make sense, Lulu? You have to answer or put... Okay, so she was unhappy with her hair before she died. Oh. She wasn't a lady, I wouldn't have said she was a lady that wore a lot of makeup or even dressed up an awful lot. She liked to look, as she would say, nice, but her hair was her one crowning glory. And that, if her hair was all right, didn't matter how ill she felt, how rough she was okay. You understand that, great. Okay. She's talking about your family, and I know you've had problems with Enzo, and I do know this, so I will own up to that. I do know this, but she is looking over him. And your elder son Zion, I don't know whether he's actually said he's seen this lady, but this lady has been around him and he does see her. Be aware if he ever says that he's seen somebody, because she is around the children a lot. She was very protective. She was very family orientated when she was here on the earth. Her family was her world. Her family was her everything. And she's actually saying to me that she loved cooking, but it didn't always turn out right. So I don't know whether you'd understand that. And she's laughing. But people would eat it anyway because they didn't want to upset her. This is very strange, doing this when we aren't getting feedback. Okay. Okay. Oh, wonderful. She's saying I'm spot on. Great. That's lovely. She's actually skipping. And when I say skipping, I don't mean with a rope. I mean skipping along. Because she said when she was here, she had problems with her legs. So I don't know whether I mentioned that before or not. But she's actually skipping now, and she's laughing and she's dancing, because I do feel she had mobility issues. She was a type of lady who wouldn't let anything get her down. She would never complain and she would never moan. People around her would know there was a problem, but she wouldn't let anybody know. But she's actually skipping. She's skipping and dancing around like a little girl, like a little child, just to prove she can. And she's actually got these great big slippers on, and they're like the old ones my nan used to wear with pom-poms on the front. You know, the ones that had the little buttons and the big pom-pom. She's got a pair of those on. So I hope this makes sense and you can understand. She's also talking about tummy conditions. So I do feel, Lulu, that you're having problems, and I feel this is more of an anxiety issue rather than a physical condition. It's coming out as a physical condition, but it's more anxiety that's giving you some tummy problems at the moment. Would you understand that? Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so she did definitely had problems with walking. Well, she hasn't got any problems now. She's dancing away like a good one. I'm going to leave her with you, Lulu. She's sending her love, and I'm going to see if I can link with somebody else. God bless you. Lovely. Thank you, Lulu. You understood your message. Brilliant. Okay, I'm just being reminded that if you do say yes, can you please say what you're saying yes to, because there's a 10-second delay between me hearing and you actually saying yes. Okay, thank you. Right, let's see where else we're going. Okay, Phil, I want to come to you. I'm sorry that these are people that I actually know, but I can't change what I'm being given at this end. Mum's coming through, and she's got a really lovely pair of, I'd say, dancing shoes on. That's the way I can describe it. They're like satin with a little strap, and they're like dancing shoes. And she's got the most wonderful pair of legs. So I don't know if this is for Phil Shaw. I don't know if you can understand this, Phil. I know Mum's come through to me before. I'm talking to Phil Shaw, yes. She's got a skirt on like you would wear in the 50s or 60s. It's very, you know, with all the petticoats underneath it. And she's sort of flinging her skirt is showing her legs off. So I do feel she knew she had a nice pair of legs, and I don't mean by that she was boasting, but she knew she had a nice pair of legs. I wish I had them. They're lovely, not like my tree trunks. She's talking about you. She's been connecting with you at home, so I hope you understand that. I know you get messages from other people, but yes, she has been connecting with you at home, and I think you've been doubting this. I know we mediums sometimes think it's our imagination, even though we know it's not, but especially if it's somebody we love. She is connecting with you, Phil. Okay, she's showing me herself now in a 1920s outfit. You know, when they've got the band around the head, and she's got one of those great big long cigarette holders and great big long gloves on. Now sorry, he understands, okay. I don't feel as though she would have dressed like this, but I feel there would have been a point where maybe she would have, I don't know whether she'd have been in a play or whether she'd have been in acting or dancing or it'd be even fancy dress, but this is a memory for you of her dressed up with this long cigarette holder with a cigarette, because I don't feel she's actually smoking it. It's just for show. Okay, Phil, she's talking about your feet. So I don't know whether you've been having problems with your feet. I've not heard from anybody that you have, but she's talking about your feet. Okay. I will tell you what she's saying. She's saying about having sweaty feet. I don't know if you can understand this. I'm just passing it on. They do give us funny things sometimes. She's talking about having sweaty feet. It's not the feet. Okay. Right. So I don't... Okay. I don't know whether she's referring to something else, but I think we'll move on, okay? She's laughing. Mum loved a joke. I would say Mum loved a joke, and she loved nothing more than entertaining and having people around and being the life and soul of the party. She loved to entertain. She's saying to me that was my forte. And she's actually saying to you, God bless you, son. And I'm going to leave that with you because I want to try and get through to a few more people if I can. Because obviously I do know you, Phil. So God bless you. And I'll see if I can get another link. Okay, I've got two ladies coming through at the moment together, and I feel they're mother and sister. And they're reminding me of my mum and my auntie. Now, these two ladies would have been close to each other, but there would have been times when because they were so different, they might have had a few words sometimes. They both like to drink because they've both got, and I feel this is a gin and tonic. It's as though they've both got a little gin and tonic and they're toasting somebody. I know this is quite vague at the moment, but I don't know whether anybody can understand this. They're talking about Southampton. So I don't know whether Southampton's a memory or Southampton would be a link with these ladies or where they would have gone on holiday. And these two ladies also would have enjoyed dancing. They both have family, but separate family. One would have had 2 daughters and a son. Okay. I feel one would have had 2 daughters and a son. And I feel the other one would have only had 1 child. Okay, so you understand the dancing. Okay, I didn't know your husband, Sandra, but I feel there would be a connection with him I have seen him, but I didn't actually know him. Is that not for you? Okay. Let's see where we're going with this. I do feel this is somebody that doesn't belong to our church. It's somebody that hasn't actually come to Wimbledon Church that I'm linking with. Or if they have, they're not known to me. Whoever this is, I don't know them. Whoever this link is for. I've been given the name Charlie in connection with them. Okay, that's Sharon. Your nan and sister lived in Southampton and they love dancing. Okay, great. Right, they're telling me you don't dance enough. Okay, they want to uplift you, Sharon. They're telling me that you used to sing around the house, but you don't sing so much now. Would you understand this? Because they listen to you. I don't know whether this is when you're doing your housework or when you're doing mundane things, but you sort of sing to yourself. Just a little bit of evidence, just to connect that I am actually with you. That's right, okay, great. She's laughing and she's saying it hurts our ears. She doesn't mean that. She's saying it as a joke. She's saying you've got a lovely voice, really. Okay, great. She's talking. I know we're all worrying at the moment, and we're worrying about this virus and everything else, but she's talking about you being extra stressed at this moment. It's as though that you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, and I do feel you've been asking Spirit for help. They want to let you know that help is being given as much as it can. They're telling you not to give up hope. Okay? Things will be all right. And I feel this is to do with somebody else more than yourself. You're worrying about somebody around you. Would you understand this?
Did you get my text, Richard?
Okay. She's telling you to send your worries to Spirit, all right? Send your worries to Spirit. Don't worry, they're going to look after you and they're going to be with you. Okay, I don't know whether you can understand this because I'm not hearing from you. I hope you can. I hope you can take the message from them. And they're giving you a beautiful bunch of daffodils, so I don't know whether these are significant to you. But there's a beautiful bunch of daffodils coming your way. I'm being told, Emmett, and that's my time. That will mean something to those of you at Wimbledon. So I'd like to pass you back to Ray. I hope some of those messages bring hope, and it was lovely being here. And know that we're always here with you, and I hope you can join me on Friday for my meditation on Wimbledon Church. God bless you all.
Thank you, Les. Thank you very much indeed. Friends, sorry I keep looking over to my phone, but I keep getting a lot of messages from people asking where Ashley is today. He's fine, he's well. He's had a bit of a virus this week, but he is okay. So I want to now hand over to the wonderful, unique Ivan Lee.
Good evening, good morning everybody. Sorry, not used to doing mornings. I hope everyone's well. And this is very new for me as well, so I'm not quite sure how it's going to go. So Richard, you're going to have to be very quick on the old fingers here, because I know how I usually work quite quickly and usually get 2 or 3 communicators at once, but hopefully they might slow it down for me today. And I've got to say to everybody, I really do feel like Robin Williams out of Good Morning Vietnam at the moment. So I might have to just say a good morning heaven side. Okay. No, anyone's. It all depends who turns up, really. But no, not just church cards. Could be anyone. But we'll see how it goes. Cause it's very weird doing this. Says the man who communicates with the past for a living. Okay, here we go. Right, I've got 2 different communicators at the moment, and I've got one coming in. I've got a heart issue. Would have passed quite quickly with a heart attack. So I don't know if I've got a John connection or I need to go with John. I've got to wait 10 seconds here, Richard, haven't I? Right, well, I'm going to, because I've got a Frank connection as well. And with I might have the wrong way around. It might be the cancer condition with John and a heart issue with Frank, or something to do with chest problems. Right, I've got to go with this Frank for the minute. Just don't. Tell her not to tell me her brother. Tell her to shush. Okay, was that with the John? Right, I thought they was 2 separate issues. Right, with the John that connects with Tina, was that the one who had, I don't know if it's a cancer condition or real problems with the breathing, very chesty? Right, then I've got a separate John with a cancer condition as well. So I do think I've got 3 communicators. Right. Okie dokie. With the Frank, I've also got, and that was a heart problem with Frank, and it must have happened quite quickly. Was that with the Sandra? Right, but is also the other lady, Pat, had the Frank father figure as well with the heart problems? Because I might have 2. Okay, that's the John, is it? Right, and there must be a May connection, very strong. I don't know, it's anniversary, important birthday coming up for May for one of these 2. I've got a doc. I know. I've also, yeah. Right. And also, I've got a Dorothy or a Dot coming in, but of completely separate communication with that. And I've also got to connect a William or a Bill that would connect with the Dorothy for someone. Right, that'll do me, John. I'll get them all to line up for a minute. I was afraid this would happen. Right, with the Frank, with the father, Sandra first, okay, because there's also a brother that's passed, and I've got very restrictions. I don't know if my throat's tightening up or my body's just sort of starting to shut down, and there was quite an issue with my physicality as it sort of shut down, and I feel trapped in a body with no motor functions. Would that make sense to Sandra with her brother? Okay. Right, okay, and you sure she's not telling me to shut down there, Richard, aren't you? Okay, good. Stop it. I don't want to go to the toilet, anybody. I just have to move about while I'm working, okay? Because I might even go walkabout in a minute. But it's like, and also there is ashes at Blackpool or something to do with it, because it keeps in the Blackpool Tower. Okay, not a problem, but I've got to go back to the John. Was the John with, was that with Tina? Or right, and did John have the heart attack as well? Right, and with Tina for the moment, Okay, because this John, and it's like this. Okay, mate, I got it. He's quite a colourful character, if I may say. And so, sorry. Shush, I'm doing that bit, Richard. I'm teasing, but it's like, yeah, because he is a colourful character, because it's like he wants to connect with Tina, and his passing would have been very quick and very out of the blue, as though it just sort of, no warning, boop, I just sort of popped. Would that make sense to Tina? Okay, and also, I've got a mother figure coming in as well, and as Tina, mother's passed, has she got a ring that connects with her mum, a stoned ring? I don't know if it's like a cluster of stones, but there's a group of stones in it. Right, because mum's with your brother and she's okay, and I don't know if the Elizabeth or Betty connects with you, but I've got a Betty coming in as well, that I've got to connect with someone. And I want mother for Betty, don't want grandmother, I want a mother or Elizabeth, Betty. But back to you, Sandra, your father's here, I know, thank you, Roger's the husband, and there was the lung condition with Roger, he's okay, and thank you. They all draw it very, very close, just to sort of, because it is horrible at this time, it's very unusual times we have, I've never known anything like it. But they do draw very close, and I don't know if it's your hip that's been playing up recently. No, that's... Oh, that was ages ago, that. Keep up, Sandra. Okay, all right then. But it's like, no, actually I want to go to Tina. Tina, has your hip been playing up, or you have a little bit of a leg issue recently? That'll do then. And I hope she got on with her anyway, because she sort of popped in here as well. As though, because I got because Tina's mum. Okay, I've got it. I've got Tina's. Tina's mum, sort of quite easygoing, did not like rudeness, and fairly patient. But the mother-in-law Betty's a bit more. I don't know if pushy is the word, but a bit more vocal. I hope she understands that. I'll wait 10 seconds because I've got to go back to John was her brother. I've got another John who had the cancer, lung cancer I've got. Where does the lung cancer John connect? Hi, Joe. Right. And was John be dad as well? Because I want to go on to dad's side of the family just to double check. All right, mate, just to double check. All right, not all worries. Back to Tina. Okay. Tina, I got now with your brother. Okay, was he quite sociable sort of man? But he's what I would he's what I'd call a normal fella. He's sort of a colourful language, but quite upbeat and a very, very sort of dry, almost sarcastic sense of humour. Mum's dad, that's granddad, isn't it? Yeah. As her dad passed, because I've got a gentleman as well, and I've got to connect a father figure, and it's not John, she's Joe, but I've got like a James or Jim. All right, hang on a minute. Right, I'll get the Jim in a minute. Okay. That's Frank, Sandra's dad, Roger, husband that connects. All right, there's also a brother connection, and I also do want a Jim or James connection with Sandra that would have passed, but they all just send their love. They're fine. I've got, okay, mate, that's them. With thank you. With Tina's brother, mother-in-law, mum, it's like I've got the brother coming forward more, and I know she's mentioned the birthday, so okay, I've got it, mate. I can understand why he's coming in, because he finds all, you do, mate. Okay, he finds all what we're doing here quite strange, quite weird, because with this communication of life after that, life carrying on, it's like he wouldn't have really gone in for that sort of thing, especially on a Sunday morning. I can't say that, mate. Okay, that'll do me then. Right, so Joe, I'm not with Joe, I'm with Tina at the minute, Richard. Okay, we'll get to Joe in a minute. Okay, so with that, Right, that'll do. I don't mean that in a flippant way, but that all connects with Tina. Do you understand all that? It's just basically, okay, sending love. I don't know whether there's depression. Oh, okay. I don't know whether depression involved, or feeling very low, because I mean everyone's can be quite low at the minute. Because with Tina, you usually got an upbeat. I don't want to call you a nutter on a Sunday morning, Tina, but you're quite upbeat and quite funny. But recently, as everyone, you've been feeling quite low and down. But humour's okay. I got it. This is from the brother. It's like humour's a very important part of getting on with life, and even though it never changes circumstances, it makes you feel a hell of a lot better during it. I hope that makes sense, Tina. That's your bit. Okay, now. Okay, then. All right, brilliant. So that's Tina and the Nutter, everybody. Round of applause. Okay. I've got a Pat. Pat, where's my Pat? Pat, I've got a. Does Pat have the Frank connection again? Another Frank. Right. John as well. Oh God, here we go. Right, and this is right. I want to go with Frank and Dad. I don't know whether Robert or Bob connects with her as well, because I've got a Bob connecting again at the minute. Okay, but with Pat, it's almost like I don't know if there's a case. I don't know if there's diabetes in the family or some blood issues, or someone's on the medication where the medication's not quite. Okay, say that again. The medication's working, but it's like it's a worry about getting the medication as on prescription drugs. Would that make sense with Pat at the moment? As though there's a bit of a worry around. What's the word I'm looking for? Thank you. I'll tell her. Keeping up things with. It's the brother-in-law, is it? Right. As though there's a worry around. I get that. Okay. And where does the Bob connect with her as well? Robert. All right. Yeses to do me. I live on yeses. That's a good thing. Yeah. Okay, no problem. I'll get on with it anyway, because it's like it's okay. Thanks, Frank, the father, coming in, and it's sort of quite a quite a respected man, and quite a solid fella, and he wants to it's very family orientated, so he wants to connect him with Pat, and as though he would be the protector, if you like most dads are, but he would be the protector and sort of holding the family there. And okay, I got it, mate. He just wants to send his love, because thank you, his passing was quite sudden as well. Right, that's for Pat. Okay, now I've got a Dorothy or a Dot, and she comes in. She's quite short. She's, I don't know, 5'2", possibly 5'4", and I do feel like there was different health issues with her before she would have passed. It's definitely Dorothy or Dot. I need to connect with someone. Anything coming through, Richard? You know. Right. That's fine. Yeah, not to worry. I need to connect this Dorothy. Okay, Dorothy for the minute, because she's getting quite. All right, love. She's getting quite frustrated. I need to pull my earpiece. She's getting quite frustrated, and so she wants to connect with someone. I do feel I want a mother connection here, and there's very different. Okay, I don't mind friend, but was she a very close friend to Dorothy? Right, I don't mind Dotty. And I know that there was a lady with a dementia. Oh, I hate dementia. A lady with a dementia condition that would link with this communicator. Because I'm not sure if I want to be with Phil or the other one at the minute. Okay. I've got Dan as well, Daniel or Danny or Dan, that needs to connect with someone as well on a different link completely. So if they can all listen, take. Eh? Does that mean it's the witching? Oh, right. I thought it was the witching hour. Okay. It's I've got to get this Dottie dotted. Phil, with Dottie, she wants to come in, and there's also a lady with a dementia condition that would have been looked after. I know Dottie's friend. Does that make sense? Is that with Phil? No. Tell Sandra you've had yours. I want to go with Phil here because I keep getting Phil. Right, fine. Now, Phil, it's very sure that this is from Dottie, not your mother, by the way. And it's like, because you must have been quite friendly with her as well. But she's making reference to that. I don't know if it's people gossiping or people doing things, or, you know, when you hear things, Chinese whispers, that sort of gets you down a bit, and you're actually feeling quite stuck in the middle, Phil. Would that make sense? Bit better. Good. Well, I mean, we all do this. We all take things far too personally, or take everything on board, because at the moment, especially, all right then, love, this is Dottie, by the way, not your mum, especially with things the way they are at the minute, it's like your only real responsibility is to yourself at the moment, because we all know we can't heal the world. We can do what we do, but what tends to happen is we take it all on ourselves, and we get it bogs us down, because even though with this situation we're in, Phil, you must be, heavy's the word I'm getting, man. I didn't mean to say man, but it's like you've been feeling quite physically heavy and weighed down, Phil. And this is Dottie, because she's quite a character, Dottie. Little bit flirty, by the way, quite friendly, cheeky, but she's making reference that it's like, don't take it all on board. It's like, because you feel stuck in the middle, as though you've got to be peacemaker for everybody around you. I got it, love, and you actually don't. Would that make sense, Mr. Philip? Good. That's him done. Right. I've got a Danny or Daniel that I need to connect with someone. Oh, could actually be David. Anyone? Everyone? No one. Oh, what do you want? Jam on it? Sunday morning. I should be in front of the telly watching Goals on Sunday with a double sausage egg McMuffin. Anyway. Me and Chris Kamara every Sunday morning. That don't sound good. Anyway. I've got with this, Dan, I do feel like I've passed very, very quickly, and I do feel like my actions would have led to my passing. Thank you, Georgie. I know. I'm teasing. Okay, but with I've got this thing. It's not Dave. It's definitely Danny, and I do feel like I've either taken my own life, or my life choices, actions led to my passing. This is where I want to go with this, and I've also got another connection with I don't know if it's the same connection, but I have another person who's killed. I've got an impact, so I want a car. Okay, I've got it. a car impact in more very strong head injuries, and I would have passed instantly. Neil. Right, Neil. With Neil's David, did his actions lead to his passing? Okay. I'm going to carry on. Yeah. Right. But I've got to get I do feel strongly like it's either Neil saying yes. I did feel I wanted to be with Neil. I don't know where, was it David with Neil? It was, wasn't it? Right, and did his actions lead to his passing, yes? Right. I was going to say brilliant, but you understand what I mean, because and was he quite I don't know, because as he connects in, okay, I've got it, mate. I know he's I felt I did want to be with Neil, but I do feel with this gentleman, I'm very hit and miss with him, as though the mood swings like, I'm okay 1 minute, I'm all right, and then the next, I'm quite recluse, quite sort of backing off from everybody. But when okay, I've got it, mate. All right then. When I went for it, I'd go for it, and I'd be right over the top. A real sort of, schizophrenia is too much of a strong word, but a real sort of split character. Would that make sense to Neil? I've got a Wally here and all. That really don't sound good. Wally, water. Okay. Right, while Neil's cracking on with that one, is there anyone there that connects with I'm not sure, Wilf or Walter as in Wally? Right, brilliant. Right, okay. He doesn't have the Wilf as well, or the Wally as well, going back. Okay, I do feel it might be a separate connection, but I want to stick with the Dave. Okay, I've got it, mate. I don't like doing personal stuff because it's personal. But it's like I've got this David coming forward, making reference to Neil. I don't think there's been quite an emotional upheaval this year. We're not talking about the virus or what's going on, but there's been a sort of emotional upheaval with him, as though he's been feeling quite sort of lost is not the correct word, but feeling a bit unsure of what sort of where life's taking me at the minute. Well, that's yeah, okay. Well, at least, yeah, right then. I might come back to her in a minute, okay? But I need to sort of double check this thing with the David and the. Okay, got it, mate. Neil. Right, and I'm not talking about the virus situation. I'm talking about prior virus. Would that make sense? I might have to go walk about in a minute. Okay, well, I know it does anyway, so it doesn't matter. But because David wants to let him know, we don't do fortune telling or any of that business, but he's making reference to, like, I never say that. I loathe this expression, as though there is a light towards the end of the tunnel, and there also must be a very strong September connection with Neil as well, because he keeps highlighting September, David, as though either things will be on the upturn. I'm talking about emotionally and supportively, and also more of a life balance coming in. And he keeps highlighting September, so it must be around a birthday, anniversary, and that's when these things should start easing off, according to David. So I leave that with him. Right, now, glass of water. It's too early for vodka, people. Rachel, you mentioned Godfather Wally or Walter. Okay. Now, I just got, because the gentleman I've got, as he connects in, I've got fluid on my lung, so I'm not sure if it's. I've got it, mate. I've got it. I'm not sure if it's like emphysema or a pneumonia condition or even COPD, but I've got this lung condition with Wally. If it is to do with Rachel, I don't mind throwing it open, but I just give it 10 seconds, wait for it to come back. So, and I know you mentioned Godfather, but was he, okay, was you quite close with him? Brilliant. That's fine. Okay. I'm not 100% sure if it is. Oh, that don't make sense. Is that the Rachel one, Richard? Yes. Yeah. I actually was just about to say I don't feel like I'm with her. I do feel like I want to. Yeah. Yeah. But I need this sort of close connection, whether it's from spirit side or when I was on the earth plane, but I need that very close connection. Was his name Wally? Excuse me. I might have two different things going on there. And I've got a Ron as well. Ronald, Ronnie, a Ron that must connect. I do feel like I probably want the Ron connected. I've got it. Connected in the same family as Wally, Walter. As long as all right, I'm going to stick with Rachel then. Where does the Ron connect with Ron? Does Ron connect with Rachel as well? There's Ron, by the way. That's my dad. He's out the back there. Okay. I do have a gentleman as well who was killed in a car accident. I've not. No, I don't think I'm with her either. I didn't think I was with her. But it might be someone who can't get through. I don't know. But I'm going to get on with it because I've also got to connect with a family of 3 and I want 2 men, 1 lady. So I don't know if it's like sister, 2 brothers. I've got that sort of connection going on. And that's to do with the Wilf, water. And also I've got to have a Ron connection with that. And there's also some... Right. Did Ron have a lung condition? Right. I'll tell you what else I've got, everybody, and I've got to do it quickly because I'm running out of time. I've got a Tony that I want to connect in as well, who passed very, very suddenly, and I do feel like I've got a head injury or some. It could even be like an aneurysm or a tumour, but I've got to connect with Tony with someone as well. With going back to the Rachel, Richard, is there the 2 men and 1 lady connection? It's like brother, sister. No, I don't think it. All right, don't worry. All right then, I'll just leave that one there for the minute, but I've got to sort this Tony out very quickly because he's quite insistent that he wants to connect in, and I don't know where I want to connect, and I do feel like it's a quick passing, and it's something to do with the head side. It's got the right hand side of my head, so I don't know if I've got like an injury or it's like some sort of tumour, aneurysm. Would that make sense to anybody at the minute, Richard? I'll count to 10. No. Who's that one, the half brother? Ronnie, that probably that message for that one. That makes more sense. And is there the 1 lady, 2 men? As in brothers, sisters? Oh, that'd do me then. That'd do. Right, that's all right. But you do. Yeah, that will do. It's with that one. It's basically just okay. I've got it. Thank mate. It's just a hello, really. Simple as that. Just a hello, and it's like I know we all say that. But it's like keep your keep your chin up. Okay, that was with the Walter the Ronnie one. But this Tony, this is Terry, but it's definitely no. I feel like Anthony, Tony. Does that? Yeah. That will do. Okay, I don't mean brilliant, but it's like because all right, with Tony. I don't know if she knew Tony, but there was quite. She's not. How can I put it? He's no angel here on the earth plane. But with his, I got it, mate. But with his passing, it's almost like I know you mentioned murder, but with his, it's almost like I was in wrong place, wrong time, as I was trying to sort of rather break up something or stop something from happening, and he became the victim of that situation. Would that make sense to her? Right. That was for the previous message, wasn't it? Yeah, no, I want to stick with the Tony for a minute because it's just with Sylvie, it's just hello, chin up to Sylvie. It's like put a smile on her face. But with okay, I've got it. With the Tony, I just want the connecting. Hello, and because he was okay, I've got it, mate. Because he was how can I? Oh, please, language on a Sunday morning. With him, it's like very much like, because he was no angel on the earth plane. I'm not going to go into detail, but it's like he's on heaven's side, and it's more sort of quite actually a good-hearted man, actually, just sort of, how can you put it? Sort of dragged into sort of the side of life that isn't too lawful, shall we say? But I hope that makes sense, because that's all I'm getting on that one. Okay, I've got it, mate. But he just wants to come forward, says hello. He's okay on heaven's side. I've got it. Because he was quite a giving, nice man. And he keeps making reference to the fact he wants to... Okay, I've got it. Doing what he can do to help people, or his... I've got it, the lady. Okay, help them move through this... Okay, I've got it, mate. Very difficult time. I hope that makes sense to her, Richard, because I'm out of time. Not to worry, I'm out of time now, aren't I? Right. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope that Tony made sense towards the end, and for you, Sylvie, with the last two, which were quite jumbled up because they both came in together. But thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully doing this again. I'm going to hand you over now. I do feel like I'm nicey, he's smashy. Over to Ray Robinson, everybody. Thank you.
Well done, Ive.
Thanks.
Hello, everybody. Those of you who've been watching today and have been around the week of spiritualism, it's our 172 anniversary. 172 years ago, the Fox sisters helped found spiritualism. And they were our pioneers, and they were totally ridiculed at times for their belief in spiritualism. It basically started with knocks and rappings, and not rappings as you get in modern music of today, but they were knocks and rappings. And I want to say to you and share with you that I want you all who's watching us today to become not pioneers, but ambassadors for our religion, to go take our religion forward. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are workers for spiritualism, mediums, psychics, but what I'm getting anxious about, spiritualism is losing its identity. A lot of people don't want to call themselves spiritualist mediums anymore. They're either embarrassed or don't want to, or they're worried of what the public thinks of them. But in my life, and especially in my father's life, we've had people have moans and groans at us and even attack us for our spiritualist beliefs. My father took spiritualism around the United Kingdom for a number of years, and I can remember him phoning me up one night, and he was saying to me, there's over 200 or 300 people outside this hall in Liverpool, I believe it was, trying to stop the meeting going ahead because the Christian church felt it was wrong. And Dad did his best to take spiritualism to the people, and this is a new way of us doing this as well. Excuse me a moment. And the situation is that we need to, all of us, be united in the common cause of taking spiritualism and continually take spiritualism to the public. I know Ivan does his public meetings, we still do at church, and I know that we go around the country with our spiritual weekend. We go down to the country, we have a few hundred people with us, and we take the message of spiritualism with us. And we try to allow people to find out that truth for themselves. What we need to continually do is keep our religion in situation where we are constantly keeping it fresh and understanding. And this is one way of doing it today. And we need to continually keep our message fresh. In a spirit teaching, it says this religion, you will find no place for sloth or idleness. The note of spirit teaching is earthliness and zeal. And I want you all to have that zeal and zest to go forward with your spiritualism. If you're a working medium, be proud to call yourself a spiritualist medium. So many people I've had contact me lately at Wimbledon Church saying, I'm a spiritual medium. So I say, well, Wimbledon only books spiritualist medium. Well, I am a spiritualist. Be proud to be a spiritualist. Be proud to hold your banner high. Be proud to take your message out to the people. St. Paul told his pupil, Timothy, And when times are going backwards or not going round, keep your message of the truth that you have fresh. Keep it going forward, forward and forward. Onward must be the words and truth of spiritualism. We must never forget our pioneers, but we now need also to make ourselves ambassadors for the spiritualist truth, to be bold with that. It's a shame that not many people have understood and understand the foundings of spiritualism. Even a lot of mediums that I meet don't understand where it came from. All they say, I sat in circle and learnt how to be a medium or a healer. Spiritualism is our way of life. It is our religion. Jackie and I are both spiritualist ministers. We're proud to hold that banner high. And there's people I know this week who have contacted me about how they are feeling lonely and lost and how they miss their church. And this is one way of keeping it going. But your church also lies within your heart, within your soul. Jesus taught that you must seek the temple and find that truth within. The temple is you. You are the temple. You are the bringer of your teachings, your soul. And you must share that. And Jackie's going to talk in a moment about spiritualism and having readings and one-to-ones, because there's some very weird eclectic mediums out there which I want to try and stir you away from. But what I want you to do, if you feel you need to have a reading or you need a one-to-one, call us. I'll give you my telephone number, 0208 241 1378, and we'll do our best to help you. If it's not local, still call us, because I don't want you to go to some of these people that are on Facebook at the moment and they're not being professional with their work. And we need to keep our spiritualism fresh and understanding. We need to keep our spiritualism with our messages. When my father took the spiritualism out to the public with Jesse Nason, Gordon Higgins and Doris Stokes, we took the message out there to bring it to the people. And we can get very closeted within our spiritualist churches, within our circles, within our groups. And we forget that there are people out there searching for the truth. We are all light bearers, as one of my friends says in America, Casey, and we need to bear witness to that light. We need to bear witness to that truth. And we need to fully understand and be practical with our religion. Our path is this, to keep the message of spiritualism fresh and new, to keep the message of hope. Friends, especially at this terrible time, truly is no death. Life is continuing. And a very good friend of mine, who's a spiritualist and a worker for the light, his mum only recently passed to the spirit, though he sees it as a good thing to happen to her because of the state of mind that she was actually in. He's continually tried to work and put his message out there where he can. Being human, it affects him because it's his mum. And I understand that, because when my mum passed and my mother-in-law passed, there's a great part of your life that goes with them. But when they come back and give us messages of hope, give us messages of knowledge and understanding, we are not alone. And we need to understand that within spiritualism, we are not alone. During this time of confinement, and Jackie and I are, I think, now 3 weeks within our home, and we're still married, and we're still getting on. And she did get a shovel out the other day, and I was a bit worried. She said, I'm going gardening. But I thought that was for me, because I do moan. But the truth is, we need to keep our love and our truth. We need to phone our friends. We need to call our members of our churches. We need to continue being forward with our beliefs. Whatever your politics are, whatever your politics need to be, we need to know that and hope that our government is doing the best for this nation. I'm not talking as a Conservative or a Labour person. I'm not a member of any political party, but we need to be behind people. We need to stop gathering in big parks. The park that I grew up in, Brixton, was called Brockwell Park, and they've had to close it today because over 3,000 people turned up and sitting there and refused to go, and in the end the park had to be closed by the council. People, You need to be sensible out there. You need to be brave, but you need to be sensible. So I seek the message of spiritualism for you to become ambassadors and take that message out to the world. I'll now hand you over to Jackie.
Thank you again, Ray. And as I said, we do understand loss, and some of us may well go through that continued loss of loved ones over the coming couple of months. My dad himself passed away only just over a month ago, and I mean, he couldn't have picked a better time because he was a sports fan and there's no sports going on. So at least this way he's free, and I haven't got to be concerned for him because I know he's there with my mum. And I just wanted to thank Les for that little bit of a message. It's nice, when you run a church and you're a minister, you still go through the pain of that loss, but we have that understanding and that need to be able to communicate. And that's what I just wanted to touch on very quickly. As I say, if you do need to speak to a minister, if you do need to talk to a medium, then make sure that it's a reputable medium. Make sure that it is a medium that is certified by a certain organisation in spiritualism, or is just known by a spiritualist church. Because at this time there are people that are not actually working with their best intentions for people, and there are people that can be only thinking of themselves. So make sure, if you are searching, that you search in the right direction, and if you need some guidance on that pathway, because we as spiritualists make sure that there is a high standard of mediumship, that our mediums are sincere and truthful, and we want to steer people away from just picking any name on Facebook or from a magazine. There may be some fine mediums there, but also we have to make sure at this time of need that people are steered into the direction of the mediums that we know are working as light workers, working as spiritualist mediums. So be careful. Yes, Richard? Thank you. Richard has just mentioned, I'm not sure if you hear it, but through spiritual productions, you can go and you can find just reputable mediums. So, we're saying don't just go to anyone, just make sure that you're steered in the right direction and that you do link onto spiritual productions. You can see the work that's being done there. There are various other groups that are trying to put use of technology so that people can actually speak with us over the phone and over the internet and on Facebook. So be steered in those right directions, and make sure that in all walks of life that you're safe and that you're not conned by anyone, because unfortunately there are people that are trying to make money out of these situations, and that's saying in all avenues of life. But we know there's a lot of good work being done by mediums out there that say just stay safe. And for those of you that have come onto our connections that are not actually from our spiritualist churches, we welcome you. We intend to carry on and do another service next week. But as I say, if you need guidance to know, have a look on Google, find the church numbers, be given the contacts via the different sites that the spiritualist churches have and the organisations. Keep safe, keep well, keep isolated, and keep that love as a light worker, around you and around family, to send out that love. So thank you for just listening to me. As I say, look on Spiritual Productions for everything else that is coming this way. And now I'm just going to hand you back again to Ray.
Well, thank you once again, friends. I'd especially like to thank Richard at Spiritual Productions TV for helping us put this together. Thank you to Ivan and Leslie.
Pleasure.
And it's been an interesting day again, and I hope you've all enjoyed it. We are back next week, and we are trying to put other things together. And Ivan is free to do readings. If you want to contact me in the first place, and I'll give you my number again, contact Jackie or myself on contacted at Wimbledon Spirit, or my landline is 0208 241 1378, and I know we can sort something out for you. And I give you the love and the blessings of Wimbledon and Hatbury Spiritualist Churches from us all, seen and unseen, as we take our movement forward. May God go with you all. God bless you. Thank you, friends. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.